Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a early LEGO Art and Marvel review. Today we're looking at set number 31209. This is the amazing Spider-Man set retailing for $199.99 USD or $259.99 Canadian. This is going to be available beginning on August the 1st and was sent to me early by Lego/Land to do a review for. I also had the opportunity to actually interview the designer behind this, and they just shared a bunch of different fun tidbits that I'll sprinkle throughout this video, but at the end as well, if you want to hop around to the different chapters, because there's a lot to talk about. The instructions are a lot of fun too, so we're going to go through all of that, take a look at this thing in detail, talk about what works, maybe some things that don't, but find it all here in this video. So let's go ahead and let's take a closer look at this set. So anyways, this is the set, and it's Spider-Man crawling on this web with this incredible green pop background there with all these dots. It looks so cool, all these spiders and different things. But anyways, he's crawling on out, and you might think, oh, cool, it's a white frame. Except in the instructions, and it makes so much sense, I love it a lot, that they actually chose to have it be white because it's meant to be a comic panel. And that's why some of the colors I said in the reveal video, I was like, man, I kind of wish there was like some dark blues here to add to some shading. Like what's with all the black here and different things? Why isn't there any dark red? Well, it's because, you know, back then colors were limited. And they, again, all mention this. They're wanting to make this a comic panel. So this is so cool. I completely changed my opinion on that once I read that, because it just makes so much sense and adds so much to this set. I think having it just be black, red, and blue, none of the other shades, I think looks great. And just for fun here, I'm going to take the Spider-Man figure. You know, Peter, he's one of our best. I just want to zoom on out just to show you the sheer size of this in case you haven't grasped that yet. Obviously here with the fingers, once it's actually on a wall, you'll be able to have him like gripping it, and you could bend the fingers around the edge of the frame. You'll see that with the other hand in a second, but the thumb here, you can also just angle that a little bit as well. So just to show you the other hand and what I meant by like actually gripping the side, you could see I can undo the fingers here, just like sort of, I guess, the Infinity Gauntlet and everything. It's great. Like the fact that he's gripping onto this, I think is really awesome. Also, if you want to have him do the you know, the whole Spider-Man thing, you can have him posing and doing that as well. Again, you could do that for the other hand. It's just, it's on my table right now. I can't really do that. There's no room for the fingers to move and bend underneath. Just looking at the green pattern here, this is probably the best spot to look at it because of the different shades. I think it just looks so cool with the light green and then the lime green, the bright green, some of the regular green there. Also just the spiders crawling around it, the web design. It's remarkable how this was designed, and you've got all these different tubes and different things going all these different ways, the hands going over that there. I think that this is so great. You've got one of the new pieces from Dreams there, and it's wrapped around there on that spot. Just to show you there, like looking at that piece, that's one of like the horn pieces. It's going underneath this spot here. Here's over here on the other arm, and you could see this bit of the web, which is one of my favorite bits because you like actually wrap it around one of the tube builds, but you could see how it's actually hidden inside there. Underneath here, you could see how it's attached over at this arm, and then up above how some of these bits are completely hidden inside there. Also with all of the spiders in the set all around the frame crawling about, there's 15 of them included, which is a reference to Spider-Man's first appearance. The head also can actually move around a little bit as well. Nothing up and down, it's just side by side. Now here's the thing, the instructions, it might have been a joke, I'm not sure, but they mention how looking at it from a certain angle, this gives like an optical illusion to make him emote and be expressive. I'll tell you, I don't see it, and maybe it's one of those things, you know, like those paintings where if you stare at it long enough, like an image is going to appear. I don't know. I've looked at this long enough, different angles. I don't see it. And here's the symbol, and I think that this is probably my least favorite part of this, just because the black stripe or something, I don't know, it just is so jarring, the split down the center. But you could see how they've done the legs here, really great. I think that maybe this could have been a little bit more 3D, but you could really see it's quite deep. I think even that other leg you see there in the back, just to show you, like, it's not quite flat. All right, lying it flat, I just want to show you a couple of things here. So the fingers, just to show you, bending those down there, you can of course do that, and that's what it looks like when it's gripping the frame. Also, depending on how you're looking at it, it doesn't look, you can see a lot of the insides. And here's what the back of the frame looks like here. Up above, you've got 2 spots there that you're going to attach it to the wall with those art anchors. And here you could see a little bit of the interior and just all of the different angles that are going on here. It's quite crazy. Like, look at that. Here are the instructions. We've got this classic Spider-Man mask there on the front, and looking at it here on the back, you can see it says The Amazing Spider-Man. And then when we flip on through here, in the front, you could read about this here. If you didn't know, all of the art sets, they have a soundtrack for you to listen to. So I'm sure a lot of the tidbits and different things that are included in the instructions, you could hear them talk more about this. But here's some of the inspiration behind all the different dots and everything that they were able to actually include here. Here's a lot of the different panels and reference material here for Spider-Man, talking about his origins there, but then all of these different comic covers there as well. And again, one of the tidbits that I solidified, I guess, was they picked green for the background so that when Spider-Man is obviously red, it'll contrast more, which is why, if you didn't know, a lot of his villains, they all have green, so he contrasts against them. Anyways, here's the talking about the podcast there. If you are interested in that, I think you can listen to it without even getting the set. I'm pretty sure they're all available. Or there you go, you can scan that QR code up above if you want to listen to it once it's live. I don't think it's out yet, but yeah, that's it. Except throughout this entire instructions, I don't want to spoil them all. There's some really great and funny ones talking about different references to the angles and everything. So here's one, the first one, I believe. The colors used in the model were chosen to mimic the limited colors of printed comics and Lego elements in the 1960s. So like I mentioned before about some of the comics, all of the colors actually used here. So as you flip through here, you could see just talking about how just different information about Spider-Man, different topics about Lego and the angles, and all of these little quizzes and Marvel comics, all of these fun little tidbits are inside here. Anyways, I feel like I've sprinkled a lot of the different things that Nico Voss, the designer, told me in my interview, but just some other things I want to mention. He sort of is challenging people to redesign this. And, if you want to change up the background color, make it yellow, get all these different dots in different colors, all these studs. It wouldn't be hard to do. I think that's so fun. He also said that you could build this mirrored and flipped, all the parts included. You'll be able to actually, if you wanted to try, build it backwards. I would love to see someone try and do that. Also, I know one of the questions I had going into this was, were there any poses considered besides the one that we got? And originally they were going to have the one sort of like from the game, from the loading screens, when he got his legs sticking out and he's swinging through the air. I said this before, but I always, in my mind, when I heard about this, I had pictured him just sort of like on the side of a building. So I think that this is really great. It's very iconic having this movement here. Also, the most difficult thing to design that he would stop working on and then come back to was actually the head. That was the most difficult thing, and I get that with just the shaping of that. You see it. There you have it, everyone. That is my review of the Amazing Spider-Man art set. I think that the idea behind this is really great. The pictures from the reveal, they just didn't do it justice. I really love this. I cannot wait to hang this up next to my Iron Man art. And interviewing Nico was so great too, and just hearing his perspective about this. But what do you think of this set? I guess that's what matters. Let me know down below what you think of it, and if you're going to try and do any of the challenges that he mentioned. I think that'll be really cool to see people do their own thing with this. But hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you'll have a great day. I'll see you all in the next one.